Jai Jagannath. Thank you for participating to the Gita study. And we are reading chapter 8. And we were reading verses 8 to 12. We just review them very quickly. And then we continue next verses. Let me make it a little tad bigger because my eyesight is going down. Anyway, verse 8. What is that? 8, 6, no. 8, verse 8. Chapter 8, verse 8. Here we go. O son of Pritha, Arjuna, by engaging in the practice of yoga with a focused consciousness that does not deviate from the object of meditation, one attains that supreme being on whom he has been meditating. Okay, so it's all about consciousness. Yoga is about meditation. All the physical aspects of yoga are just a support for the real business of meditation. Okay. Nine. One should remember the Lord as the omniscient, the primeval, who controls everything, so small that he is contained inside the atom. He maintains everyone and everything, and his form is inconceivable, as bright as the sun, transcendental to the darkness of ignorance. So, Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. This is a very famous verse. Aditya. Okay, 10. One who, at the time of death, remembers the Lord without any distraction of the mind, with devotion and powerfully connected to yoga, and perfectly keeping the prana between one's eyebrows, attains that divine, radiant, supreme person. Okay, so it's about consciousness. So at the time of death, we remember what we used to think about during life. So obviously we can remember God if we have been thinking about God along our life. If we have the habit. 11. Now I will tell you in summary about that imperishable destination described by those who know the Veda. That destination is entered by the great sages and sannyasis who have become fully detached from material illusion and who practice brahmacharya with the purpose of attaining that destination. Okay, brahmacharya is not just abstinence, but it is the literal meaning of the word is behaving like behaving as Brahman, means the transcendental level without any identification or attachment with the material elements. Okay, then we go. And verse 12. Controlling all the doors of the body, keeping the mind within the heart, and fixing the prana, carrying the self to the top of the head, one is situated in the yoga meditation. So this is a little different from the idea that people have of yoga as a fitness practice to lose weight. Anyway. Okay, so until now, no questions, no problems.
In the heart.
Whenever you want to say something, just say, yeah?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, but I cannot see you if you raise your hand or anything because I'm sharing the screen.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I'm asking this keeping the mind in heart. Can you elaborate something? I forgot what we discussed
Okay,
on
the
this one.
mind and heart are, you know, two, what to say, indications for the consciousness and the chakra. In this particular verse, keeping the mind within the heart, it means that the consciousness has to reside within the heart chakra, means in the level of consciousness that is pure love. The Shastras, including the Upanishad, are saying that God resides in the heart. The jiva, both the jiva and the Paramatma are sitting in the heart, like two birds on a tree. Now, of course, it's not something that, if open someone's chest, you will find, inside the heart, you cut the heart in half, you to go see if the jiva and the Paramatma are actually inside. Because we are talking about energy and consciousness. You cannot find electricity if you cut a wire. You don't see the electricity. Because if the wire is not connected, there will be no electricity. If the wire is connected, it's a live wire, you don't see the electricity, you feel it, because you get a good shock. But you don't see the electricity. It's not that the electricity is something, physical, gross, that you can, put on a microscope. You need other types of measuring instruments to see if electricity is there. In the same way, the consciousness is not something that you put under a microscope. The heart chakra is not something that you can see in an autopsy. We are talking about the level of consciousness, the energy. So when we meditate on God, our feeling of meditation should be bhakti. Bhakti is love, right? So the bhakti is coming from the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the center of the bhakti. And that's because it's unconditional love. It's not lust. Lust is coming from a lower chakra. But the pure bhakti is in the heart. This is confirmed by so many shastras, so many songs, devotional songs, and what have you, what not. So because it's a part of the and the pranic body, the pranamaya kosha, where we feel the emotion, the rasa of love. Now, this rasa or emotion can take many frequencies, but still the heart is like the radio set. The frequencies can be, as we know from the Bhakti Shastras, could be Santa, Dasa, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and then there are the secondary rasas like Virya and so on. So the mind is represents the three powers of the consciousness. It's not, the mind is not the origin of these powers of consciousness, but it is the instrument by which they are manifested. These three powers of consciousness are the willpower. What are the three? Let me remember, because I forgot. But these are considered the three forms of the functions of the mind. It's Icha, Kriya, Jnana. Exactly. Icha means willing. Kriya means doing, and Jnana means knowing or understanding. So Icha, Kriya, Jnana are the three functions of the mind. Desiring, doing, deciding to do things, and actually putting energy into doing, and knowing, understanding, or perceiving. But these are all conducted by the consciousness, the Atman. Because the Atman is Sat, Chit, Ananda. So Chit means consciousness. The mind is the instrument, it's a vehicle, the subtle vehicle of the Atman. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, keeping the mind within the heart, the Sanskrit is samyamya manaridi, nirudhya. It is a literal translation. The mind in the heart, fixing. Cha murna. The mind in the heart, bas, nothing else. Manaridi. So it's very, very concise, we could say. But I think that this is the elaboration. We need to be fixed in the bhakti feeling, in the anahata chakra. That is the practice, the sadhana bhakti, the yoga meditation. Then, of course, the prana is carrying the self to the top of the head. The fact is that you still keep the anahata chakra working, but you raise the prana and yourself as the Atman to a higher level. So after the anahata, we have the throat chakra, we have the third eye chakra, and then we have the crown chakra. Now, when you practice the actual yoga, your kundalini is sitting, the new kunda of the kundalini is the anahata chakra. In non-evolved people, in people who don't practice meditation, yoga, or sadhana, or whatever, the kundalini is usually sitting in the muladhara chakra, which is the root chakra, where in the genital area. Okay, but that is about the survival of the body. That is body consciousness. It's pure survival. So eating, going to the bathroom, the basic functions of the physical gross body. So we need to, in this position, the kundalini is sleeping. Then when the kundalini is awakening, she rises through the chakras. Then we move in our evolution of consciousness, we move to the level of pleasure, emotions, feelings, which is the Manipura chakra. Then when we have satisfied our feelings, like like the four purposes of human life, dharma, artha, kama, and the Manipura chakra is about kama, is about artha, is about enjoyment. And this is also not a very evolved position for the human being. Even if we engage in this level of consciousness without violating dharma. Even if we follow the dharmic principles perfectly in our artha and kama, still we are just sattvic people. We are not evolved into the transcendental level. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then the next chakra is the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the self-affirmation. It's like when a child becomes able to take care of himself. Usually this happens through the adolescence, puberty. The Muladhara chakra is the same level of even the newborn. The very, very young babies, newborn babies. The Manipura chakra becomes developed from birth to adolescence, through puberty. So we start to look for pleasure. We like this, we don't like that. We want things because we enjoy something. We like something, we don't like something else. And this is the Manipura chakra level of consciousness. Then the self-affirmation, the solar plexus level, the chakra, is self-affirmation in the sense you become an adult. You want to be heard. You have your thing to do. You have responsibility, you have self-affirmation, and you find your own power. This is why it's called solar plexus. So people who have problems at the level of the solar plexus chakra are frustrated. They're not happy with their life. So they develop stomach problems, digestive problems, and then they get sick. So this is it. When we are on that level, we want to be, to own our. No, sorry. Actually, I went to check. The Muladhara chakra is the root chakra. The sacral chakra is actually the Svadhisthana. Svadhisthana is the pleasure chakra. The solar plexus is actually called Manipura. So the Manipura chakra is the solar plexus. Sorry. Then at some point through the sadhana, and especially through the bhakti process, we move from the Manipura chakra, which is self-affirmation, egoism and egotism. We abandon our selfishness, our material identification, our material attachment. We are not interested in having power over other people or over money, over property or whatever. We are not interested in our personal pleasure, our position. We become situated at the level of the heart, the Anahata chakra. A devotee is not interested in any material position. Like there is this verse of Sikshastakam that you probably remember, that Chaitanya says, I don't want nice looking
Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim.
na janam na sundarim. Kavitam. This is the expression of bhakti. A devotee doesn't want followers, doesn't want wealth or property, doesn't want beautiful people giving service to him, because that's the sundarim. It means nice, especially females, but can also apply to males. Nowadays we never know. Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, or even scholarship. A devotee just wants the pure bhakti, pure love and devotion and reciprocation and personal relationship with God. So that is beyond the Manipura chakra. Manipura chakra is not working anymore, not interested, no thanks. No need. And that's why the new resting place of the Kundalini is the Anahata chakra, is the heart. So the lower chakras, they actually tend to stop working because Kundalini is not interested to go there anymore. Now, some New Age people think that you need to balance the chakras. All the chakras must be open. All the chakras must be fully functional. So Kundalini is running up and down like an elevator, on a busy day. No, that's not the point. In fact, yoga is controlling the doors means you have to close the doors. This is why some of the yoga kriyas are called bandhas. So you stop giving energy there because the survival of the body is taking so much energy, running after pleasures, running after self-affirmation, position, material identification is taking so much energy. Now we put all our energy, our mind, our icha, kriya, jnana into the heart only, and from there we rise to the Sahasrara chakra, the top of the head. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question at this point?
No.
Okay. So, keeping the mind within the heart is very, it's a very good idea. Okay. Then here it's in the description, in the commentary, I have listed the koshas: Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Jnanamaya, Anandamaya. Okay. And 13. Vibrating the Om, this one transcendental syllable, which is also another explanation is the syllable form of the one Brahman, of the one. This is the Om iti eka aksharam Brahman. This is the original Sanskrit. Om iti Eka, Aksharam Brahman, means the syllable form of the one Brahman, or this one transcendental syllable, which is the same. And remembering me, Mam Anusmaram. Remembering me, Krishna is speaking about himself as the Supreme Brahman. Is identifying with the Supreme Brahman. He who departs, leaving the body, attains the supreme destination. So, this is the purpose of yoga. Purpose of yoga is not to lose weight. If you see the pictures of Trailanga Swami or Totapuri or other big yogis, big in all senses, even the body is big. You understand that yoga is about actually neglecting the physical body. Becoming detached from the physical body, not becoming more attached, more identified with the physical body. This is a disaster. People think that yoga is a fitness program. They're actually very dangerous. Anyway, so attains the supreme destination because the consciousness is ready to go. Now, many people mistakenly believe that whatever, at the time of death, you go to moksha, you go to Vaikuntha, you go Svarga, whatever. Nope. We go to the level of existence that we have already attained within our consciousness. So moksha is not a free ticket that we get from the Vishnu Dutas when they land with their spaceship. Moksha is when we have become liberated, we free ourselves from the material conditionings which are identification with the material elements and attachment to the material elements. So moksha is not something that is given to us or that is attained automatically when we leave the body. When we leave the body, we only become liberated from the gross material body, but we are still traveling with the mind. So if the mind is still attached to material identifications and possessions and belonging and everything, we immediately we go to take a new birth, as in a new material body. We see what kind of material body is that. We don't become liberated. So in the same way, if we have been doing our duty properly, social, regard to society, family, religious duties, we've been honoring the devas, we've been working for the benefit of the universal community, then we automatically get to Svarga because that is the level of consciousness we have developed. And, again, if we meditate on the Supreme Brahman, we go to the Supreme Brahman. If we meditate on the formless, we go back to the Brahmajyoti. If we meditate on the Sachitananda Vigraha, the Supreme Brahman, we go to that level of consciousness. So it's not that we all go to the same place. Yeah, there was someone who was commenting on one of my videos in Italian. He said, "Oh yeah, well, when we die, we all go to the same place where we always." No, 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 no. That's not a fact. Because you know, if we actually attain the Brahma Bhuta platform, we don't go back. When we attain the supreme level, the supreme dham, we don't go back. If we have taken birth, it's because we were not on the transcendental level. Okay, there are avatars, but it's not that everybody's an avatar. So, is this clear? Any further elaboration we can do on that? Not really. Okay. No problem. We continue. Verse 13. O son of Pritha, Arjuna, for one who always, constantly, regularly remembers me without thinking of anything else, I am very easy to reach, because he is a yogi constantly connected with me. So without thinking of anything else is interesting. We should, we should be very clear on this particular point. This means that we cannot remain in duality. How it is possible for someone to always remember God without thinking of anything else? This is only possible when, as Krishna says himself in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavam Mam Prapadate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. When we see Vasudeva everywhere, omnipresent, we see everything in Vasudeva and Vasudeva in everything. This is the only way we can actually remember Vasudeva without thinking of anything else. Otherwise, any distraction that we believe it's not Vasudeva is going to trick us. We are there just thinking of Shama Sundar Krishna, and then the tax officer knocks at our door, or a snake bites us. If we think that the tax officer or the snake are not part of Vasudeva, then we'll be distracted. But if we are able to put these things, these beings, these states of beings, in connection with Vasudeva, then we'll be able to always remember Vasudeva without thinking of anything else. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Any question or elaboration? No.
So,
Yes.
I think we discussed that earlier. This part of Vasudeva or Vasudev himself, like what should we think?
Oh, but
But
then,
you clarified earlier, I think we
exactly.
discussed
This is a very good question.
one and the same thing, like you.
Yes, yes. When Arjuna asked Krishna, how can we meditate on you? This is what Krishna is telling him. In the Bhagavad Gita, we'll not find Krishna telling Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, a devotee must meditate on me, as Shyama Sundara playing the flute in the forest of Vrindavan. He's not saying anything like that. Why? Of course, he's showing Arjuna his two-armed form. Okay, but the point is that we have to remember that this is God. It's not just a coward boy. The problem is that when people are superficial or are exposed to superficial interpretations or presentations or whatever, we miss the boat. We miss the point. So very primitive people, very Kanishadikari people, they meditate on Krishna. Oh, such a nice baby, Laddu Gopal. Hey, nice Krishna, baby Krishna. Yeah, well, if we read the 10th canto of Bhagavad Purana, constantly the Bhagavatam is reminding us this is God. How many people who are meditating on Balagopala are actually aware that this is God? They're not. They're not. And we cannot say that they are beyond the sadhana bhakti. They're so engrossed in yoga maya that they forget that Krishna is God. No, that would be prakrita sahaja thinking. We are not on that level. Not because of ontological difference, like Madhva thinks, but because our behavior is not supporting that level of realization. I mean, anyone can be on the same level of Yashoda Mata. That, she's only seeing Krishna as her own naughty child and everything. Okay? But the behavior must be consistent. If you want to present yourself as on the same level of Yashoda or, whatever other, intimate companion of Krishna who is playing with Krishna as their equal or even their child, But then you get into politics, you get into, you want followers, you want the stuff of the lower chakras. You want self-affirmation, you want fame, worship, name, profit, you are making distinctions between enemies and friends, us and them. Or how can you say that you are actually on that level of yoga maya? It's not simply, it's not consistent with your behavior. The behavior and the bhava should be consistent. Otherwise, that is a simplistic, materialistic devotion. Kanishadikari, okay, he's a devotee of Krishna, he's chanting the names of Krishna. And if he's not creating unnecessary problems to anybody, then he's okay. He can go on, he can sit in the temple and do his puja and do his sadhana and everything. He's okay, he's going to progress. But that's not the level of the Raganuga Bhakti. It's not. So people who offend the other forms of Krishna, for example, or Vishnu. No, we are not interested in Vishnu. We are only interested in Shama Sundar Krishna. Whoa. Whoa. That's that's not consistent with the Raganuga, actually. Even if we find the the passage of the Rasa Lila in which the gopis were looking for Krishna and Vishnu appears and they ask Vishnu, please, but they actually offer their pranam to Vishnu. They don't just say, oh, we are not interested in you, bugger off. But some people, they think they're situated in the the bhakti rasa. They openly disrespect the avatars of Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti. What is that? What is that showing? They're not consistent. They're not consistent. Because, yeah, they just take whatever suits their, ego, but they forget that the gopis also worship Katyayani. To get, to ask Katyayani's blessing of becoming intimate with Krishna. So, now they want to imitate the gopis because only Shamasundar, only Krishna Shamasundar. Okay. What about the gopi worshipping Katyayani then? So, they're above the gopis worshipping Katyayani. So this is very, very tricky. Because once we get on the wrong path, it's difficult to recognize the mistakes. But here, having attained me, verse 15, yeah. Having attained me, they do not have to take another birth. That is a cause of sufferings and impermanence. Such great souls have already reached the highest level of perfection, which is the Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Right? Nasochati nakangshati. Param labhate. Bhaktim param. That is the supreme bhakti, the actual transcendental real bhakti. Okay. Okay. So, if you want to ask something, stop me, huh? Okay.
Sure.
And 16. O Arjuna, all these worlds, from the planet of Brahma downwards, are places from within, from which one returns. But for one who has attained me, O son of Kunti, there is no more rebirth. So, this is showing that it's not that, when we die we all go into the same place. Okay. Also, this is showing that we didn't fall from Vaikuntha, especially, we didn't fall from Goloka, Vrindavan. No one falls after actually realizing the Supreme. Because you cannot unlearn. Okay, what has been seen cannot be unseen, as they say. Okay, and then we have 17. Those who have knowledge about the cycle of day and night know that one day of Brahma comprises 1,000 cycles of yugas, and the night also comprises 1,000 cycles of yugas. So, this is according to the Surya Siddhanta. The calculation is Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, but the cycle mentioned is interpreted by most people in mainstream tradition as ears of the devas, which are composed by, each ear of the devas is composed by 365 earth years, because one day on the Svarga is one entire year on earth. So we have different calculations. Some people think this means earth years, but that becomes a complication. But anyway, so this means that Brahma is the one who lives longer in the universe. Okay, let's see. Let's go on. Okay. And 18. At the beginning of the day, all manifestations of beings rise from the state of non-manifestation. At the beginning of the night, they are dissolved into the same non-manifestation. So this is a cycle within a cycle. It's like different parts of the great mechanism of the universe, time. So the greatest cycle is one breathing cycle of Mahavishnu. Within one breathing cycle of Mahavishnu, there are 100 years of Brahma. Then within one lifetime of Brahma, within these 100 years, there are so many days. And here we are talking about one day of Brahma. So at the beginning of the day, Brahma takes out all his toys and starts playing. And in the night, when the night comes, he puts away all the toys and he goes to sleep. And almost all the planets are destroyed. Only Satyaloka remains. Then there are different cycles at the end of each Manvantara. I think there are 14 Manvantaras in a day of Brahma. I don't know, we have to verify as usual. At each of these Manvantaras there is a partial pralaya. And then again at the end of each cycle of yugas there is a smaller pralaya. Then within each yuga there are even smaller pralayas, because everything keeps changing. For example, the geography in Satya Yuga, the geography of the earth in Satya Yuga was different from the geography we have today. So anyway, okay, if there is no other question, we can go on.
Yes.
Okay. 19, if my eyes do not deceive me. Okay, 19. O son of Prita Arjuna, all these beings certainly continue to appear and are dissolved again automatically at the beginning of the night and manifest again when the day arrives. This means that the bodies, the beings in the sense of Bhuta Grama. Bhuta also means planets, and all sorts of material beings, material manifestations. Because the jivas, the atmas are not dissolved. Okay. And the 20. But there is another nature different from the non-manifested state. a non-manifested nature that is eternal and not dissolved when all the beings are dissolved. Avyakta. Okay. So there is the differentiation between the non-manifested state and the non-manifested nature. What is this? Let's see the Sanskrit. Para tasmat tu bhava anya avyakta avyaktat. Means it is different. There is one non-manifested that is different from the material lack of manifestation. When the material manifestation is dissolved, all the atoms, all the elements of material nature merge together in the Mahatattva. But the non-manifestation state of the Atman, Brahman, is not dissolved. It's just not visible, but it continues to exist individually. So from one cycle to the other, the same personalities will remain. So if a jiva has not been able to attain full evolution of its potential, it will start again at the next cycle of manifestation from the point he had reached before. So it's not dissolved. This nature, the jiva nature, the spiritual nature, is never dissolved. Because the spiritual body is not evolved completely. The jiva only dissolves the mind when the siddha deha is fully developed. Otherwise, the jiva continues to travel in the subtle body, the karana sharira, the karma saya, the karma, the karma body, karmic body, causal body. When the jiva has attained liberation, moksha, it doesn't need the karmic body. So that goes to dissolve into the material elements, the subtle material elements in the Mahatattva. The Mahatattva is composed by the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements. So at the regular end of the cycle, when it gets non-manifested, the jiva is just shedding the gross physical body, the annamaya kosha. But the subtle body remains. The vijnana maya kosha, the pranamaya kosha, the manomaya kosha remain. Of course, the annamaya kosha is the Atman. So only the annamaya kosha goes dissolved. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. And 21. That eternal, non-manifested Brahman is the highest destination or goal. After attaining it, one does not fall back. That is my supreme abode. So the eternal non-manifested is by definition the Brahman, because the Brahman is a non-manifested, formless form. Okay. Why Krishna is saying that is my supreme abode? Is not Goloka Vrindavan is supreme abode? You understand? So, actually, Krishna here is talking about the Brahma Bhuta, the existence of Brahman, which we should translate as transcendence. It is sufficient to achieve, to attain the level of transcendence, so that we don't fall back. And from the level of transcendence, we can actually approach the real bhakti. Again, the same verse of Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasu Chatina Kankshati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. It is only from the level of transcendence that we can actually interact with Krishna, God, whatever, Param Brahman, whatever you want to call it, Bhagavan, Ishvara. Because until we reach that level, before we reach that level of transcendence, our devotion can only be sadhana bhakti, still conditioned by material identification and attachments. Deposition of the kanishta adhikara, which is okay, it's about Vaidhi bhakti, sadhana bhakti, it's okay. But you cannot say that that level it entitles you to forget that Krishna is God. I don't know. I hope it's clear.
Yes.
Okay. So we had 1 hour. You want to continue or you want to postpone next time?
I think we can continue next week. I'll try to
Yes.
meditate on these things.
it's
It's yeah.
already a good bundle. Okay, so Jai Jagannath.